We got a couple of decent fights. I'm going to break down the fight here, the Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. It's the rematch. But before I get to that, on the undercard is a fight that I think is going to steal the show. This fight is in the welterweight division, and it's putting Jack Catterall up against Eskal Usman. And Usman has got a record of 22 wins and 1 loss. 8 of his wins coming by knockout. This guy, it's the rankings on him are so weird. The computer ranks him at number 39. The WBO has him at number 3. The WBA at number 9. The IBF at number 14. The Ring ratings has him at number 10. And ESPN and the Billy C Boxing ratings have him non-rated. He is 36 years old. He's fought 23 fights, 22-1, like I said. His only loss was to Harry Scarf, who was a 15-2 fighter in November of 2023. Since then, he's had 3 wins in a row, all against good opposition. Their combined record, 39 wins, 2 losses, no draws. And here's the thing. The 2 losses were all Josh Taylor. He's got a win over Josh Taylor. Yes, Josh Taylor. He's got wins over Chris Congo. He lost to Harry Scarf. He beat Owen Cooper, who was 10-0 at the time. He beat Ben Vaughn, which was 10-0 at the time. And he beat Josh Taylor, which was a huge win, which sets him up for this fight against Catterall. He's 36 years old, 5'10". He's an orthodox fighter. Now he steps in the ring. I got to be honest. One of my favorite welterweights in the world right now is Jack Catterall. And his record, 31 wins, 13 coming by knockout. He's got 2 losses, both controversial losses. In February 2022, he lost a 12-round split decision to Josh Taylor. And in February 2025, he lost a 12-round split decision to Arnold Barbosa Jr. Both extremely controversial, in my opinion. He squeaked out both of those wins, but it is what it is. The computer ranks him at number 5. The WBC's got him at number 7. The WBO's got him at number 8. The IBF has him at number 11. The WBA has him at number 7. Billy C Boxing has him at number 5. And the Ring and ESPN ratings do not have him rated. He's got 33 professional fights, 10 more than Usman. He's also got 62 more rounds under his belt at 237 versus 175 for Usman. They're about the same with the knockout ratio. Jack Catterall's got 42%, which works out to be about 5% higher than Usman, who's sitting at 36%. He started his pro boxing career in 2012, which is 4 more years as a pro than Usman. He's a southpaw, so we got your classic southpaw against orthodox fighter. Jack Catterall is also 4 years younger. Usman's got the height advantage over him, 3-inch height advantage over Catterall. He's got some decent wins under his belt going back. His last 5 fights, or actually going back to 2022, he lost to Josh Taylor in that controversial fight I told you about. Then he came back with wins against Dara Foley, who was 22-4 at the time. He also beat Jorge Linares, 12-round decision against him. He righted the ship against Josh Taylor, winning a 12-round decision last year in May. He fought Regis Prograis and beat him in a 12-round decision in a very entertaining fight. Then he got his loss against Barbosa Jr. in February of this year. He came back in July, and he beat Harlem Eubank in a technical decision, unanimous decision due to a cut. And now he's stepping in the ring a couple months later against Usman. How do I see this fight going? Well, I tell you, Usman is a really live dog in this fight. It's pretty strange of how he's ranked all over the place. But Jack Catterall is a guy that just never stops coming at you. And, like even Dax is saying in the chat room now, he was definitely robbed in those 2 split decision losses. He seems to have gotten better to me, especially his rematch was Josh Taylor. He looked really good. I was surprised at the Barbosa loss, but I thought he got robbed. I'm picking Jack Cotterill all day in this fight, although I think it's going to be an entertaining one, and it's probably going to go to distance. Now, the next fight I'm going to break down is the main event. Conor Benn going up against Chris Eubank Jr., the rematch. Why are they having a rematch? I don't know why they're having a rematch. The first fight wasn't all that great, and, I doubt that this one's going to be all that great. It's the fact that there's a family feud between the two families. Both their fathers fought. These two guys genuinely don't like each other. Conor Benn, 23 wins, 1 loss, 14 of his wins coming by knockout. Here's the weird thing about Conor Benn. He's ranked by the computer in the super welterweight division, okay, or junior middleweight division. That was basically his last fight, right? But he's only ranked by the computer. The WBC and WBA, they don't have him ranked at the junior middleweight. They have him ranked at the welterweight at number 4 and number 6. WBC's got him at number 4. WBA's got him at number 6. But he hasn't fought at 147 since 2022, since April of 2022. He's not rated in the IBF, the WBO, the Ring Magazine, the Billy C Boxing ratings, or ESPN ratings in any weight class. He's got 24 fights under his belt, actually 14 less than his opponent. He's got 118 rounds, 61% KO ratio. He's 29 years old, which gives him the youth in this fight. He's 7 years younger than Chris Eubank Jr. He's an orthodox fighter at 5'8", which he's given up 3 inches in this fight. Prior to the first Eubank fight, he had won 6 fights in a row, 2 of them by knockout. And his first fight against Eubank was in 7 months ago in April. The 3 judges all scored it the same, 116, 112. It was good to see him in the fight, but he wasn't in the fight. He hasn't been that busy. He's fought once. He fought 3 times in 2021, once in 22, once in 23, once in 24, and 25 will be he'll be fighting 2 times. His last fight was technically at middleweight because he weighed 156.5 pounds. So why he's ranked at both junior middleweight and junior middleweight and welterweight, God only knows. Theoretically, he should be ranked at middleweight since his last fight and this fight will be contested at a middleweight weight class. Now, Chris Eubank Jr., he's 35-3, 25 of his wins coming by knockout. He's ranked number 2 by the computer at middleweight. The WBC has him at number 3. The IBF has him at number 4. The WBA has him at number 4. The WBO does not have him ranked. The Ring Magazine has him ranked at number 3. ESPN has him ranked at number 3. And Billy C Boxing has him ranked at number 6, all in the middleweight division. He's got 128 rounds more of ring experience than Conor Benn at 246. He's got a higher knockout ratio at 71%. He's 7 years older. Like I said, he's got the 3-inch height advantage at 5'11". He's weighed 160 pounds since weighing 164 against Wanek Adaryawan in 2021. So this is a guy that's been fighting at this weight class for a very long time. He, too, hasn't really been that active. In 2021, he fought once. In 22, he fought once. In 23, he fought once, in which he won 1 and lost 1. And he fought once in 24. And he, too, will be fighting his second fight in 2025. He's got some decent wins. Liam Smith, he got knocked out by, but he avenged that loss in his next fight when he knocked out Liam Smith. And then Camille Sorenza, he's got a knockout win. And then his last fight against Conor Benn, 12-round decision. How do I see this going? Pretty much the same way the first one did. I kind of be pulling for Conor Benn on this. I like the younger fighter. I always like the fighters that are challenging themselves. Conor Benn is moving up in weight. I just don't know if he's got the skill set to beat Chris Eubank. I'm looking for Chris Eubank to win that fight as well. One last thing I want to touch on here. I haven't had a chance to read any of the. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, as far as my man John, I got to find out where that is. Maybe I'll go take the trip to see the release of Christy Martin's movie. Coach K is saying when Dante was talking about what to always work on, Coach says always you can always work on footwork. I love that my girl Dayla has asked Dante the question, and she liked the question. The kid is good. You know, that's what boxing needs: more guys like Deontay Kirkman. Uh, Dax said that he felt that both of those fights were robbed too, and with Jack Carterall. Yeah, I just wanted to catch up on that. I know Joel was curious about my thoughts on that UFC gambling thing. The thing I bring that up is because there is a parallel between what's going on there and what we're seeing that may happen in terms of a league in professional boxing, which I think it's great. I think it's good. I think one of the biggest problems with boxing is the fact that we have too many belts. Promoters feel that they can't promote a fight unless there's a belt, and the shenanigans that the fighters like Ortiz and Boots Ennis are trying to pull right now, and Moses Ituma would all go bye-bye if it was in a league similar to UFC, because Coach Dave said, with the professional fight league, you don't know who you fight, and it's like the amateurs. If anybody's listening to this show that really never paid attention to amateurs, well, that's how an amateur event usually goes as well. You get there, you weigh in, and then hey, you're fighting this guy. He's here, he's your weight, boom, you're in. So very rarely do you get a chance to know who your opponent is until you get into finals and championships and stuff like that. Okay, in case you're new to the show, or in case you missed it, I've been doing what we call the Billy C rankings. Okay, I got a little fed up with all of the rankings that we have, the four major sanctioning bodies, and then the Ring magazine, then the ESPN, and computer rankings, which I value the most. Specifically the IBO rankings. I like them. I think they're the most accurate of all, but the computer. But what I decided to do was to rank the divisions non-biased. There's no champions. I'm just going to be ranking who I think are the top 12 of each division. But here's the little twist. I'm only doing 9 divisions. I'm taking the 8 original divisions, and I added the cruiserweight division because I feel that the cruiserweight division is important because there's such a big jump between 200 pounds and some of the heavyweights now that step into the ring at 250 chiseled. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm going through each weight class each week, and then once we're done with the final weight class of flyweights, then I'm going to be offering my rankings once a month. I'm going to update them all once a month. And whoever wants to get them, whoever wants me to email them in a PDF format, just drop me an email, Billy at Talkin Boxing, TalkinBoxing.com, or Bill at BillyCBoxing.com. Tell me you want to get put on the list, and we'll certainly do that. We got a pretty good list building up right now. And don't forget, you can go to BillyCBoxing.com and get all the links to where we are. We'd really appreciate it if you follow us and subscribe to us and do all those things. Okay, here we go. The Billy C's welterweight division. Now, keep in mind, this is the welterweight and junior middleweight, right? Welterweight and super middleweight. So these are a little more tricky than the heavyweight, cruiserweight, and light heavyweights because I'm combining the multiple weight classes to get these guys, and I'm trying to factor in the skill set for each one and put it in, assuming that they could be interchangeable between 147 and 154, which they are because of the way the weigh-ins are now. Remember, years ago, they used to have same-day weigh-ins. So 147 pounder was 147 pounds, or roughly. They might have gained a couple of pounds, but not 10 or 15 like they do today. All right, my number one welterweight in the world today. I put Virgil Ortiz. I say Virgil Ortiz because I think that he has a slightly tougher resume than Boots Ennis. I also have seen an improvement with him. He's a fighter that is still young, and he seems to be getting better and improving in the right areas. So he's my number one welterweight as of today. My number two is Boots Ennis. And, I'm giving him the props, even though I'm very vocal about his not so great resume, but there's no doubt that he possesses some skill. I just want to see him possess the same skill, or showcase the same skill, I should say, against better opposition. And now we start getting interesting, because number three is a guy that is a talented fighter. He's a tough guy. Israel Madrimov is. And by the way, Ortiz, Ennis, and Madrimov, all USA fighters. This is where they're currently residing, as I'm put in the country. And this is something I noticed with the welterweights. A lot of United States fighters here, which was not the case in some of the other divisions. Madrimov is number three. Number four, Brian Norman, also a United States fighter. Number five, welterweight, I have Jack Catterall. I was talking about him today. I love this kid. I think he's underrated, and I think if you watch this fight this weekend, you'll see what I mean. That he's a good fighter. Number six, I had to put this guy in here, Sebastian Fundora. He's a tall guy. He's tough to fight. He's fought some decent fights. He does know how to use his height and reach, and his fights against Tim Tszyu. I had to give him credit for both of them. Number seven, Devin Haney. Listen, I had all I could to put him on this list. I'm sorry, but Devin Haney, to me, more than boxing skill comes to mind when I'm doing my rankings. And Devin Haney doesn't, he may have the skill to box and run, but he's shown that he can't really stand and fight, and he also showed that he's not an exciting fighter. He's not bringing much to the sport. But I have to recognize his skill set, and I have him at number seven. Now, remember, this is two divisions combined, so to speak. So, number eight is Brandon Adams. I got to watch Brandon Adams up close when he was fighting in the Boxino tournament we did with LDL TV and Daniel Edward. We were there. We did some stuff, and Daniel Edward fought Brandon Adams, and Adams made it all the way to the final and ended up losing to Willie Monroe Jr. And I got to see this guy, and he's a pretty exciting fighter. He was actually fighting out of his weight class back when he was in the Boxino. And I believe he's fighting in the right weight class that he should be right now for his size. And he's doing well in this second part of his career, so to speak. I got him at number eight, another USA fighter. At number nine, Liam Paro, who out of Australia, tough fighter, deserves to be in the top 10 for sure. Another guy that I could have maybe flip-flopped with Paro is Rohan Polanco out of the Dominican Republic, another quality fighter. Number 11 is Abbas Bararu out of Germany. And rounding out my top 12 is Giovanni Santillan out of the United States. Those are my welterweight rankings. So again, if you're interested in getting put on the list, just do that. Give me an email, Bill at BillyCBoxing.com or Billy at Talkin Boxing, TalkinBoxing.com. So as far as some final thoughts here, Ortiz and Boots Ennis, I really believe that these guys should get it on. The fight should happen now. There's no marination needed, and I think that that's one of the biggest problems that we have in the sport today. Some other final thoughts is, I know there's a lot of split opinions about the modifications to the Ali Act and the fact that a league could be started and potentially kicking, some of the sanctioning bodies. And now remember, this is all by choice. This isn't something that would be getting rid of them. The boxers would have a choice. So if this league did ever materialize, like I said earlier, it would have to start, with a youth movement, which would be right out of the gate would be an infusion of boxing talent, that we could weed through, So I think it's good. I'm supportive of it. I'd like to see it happen. I don't like what I see with the sanctioning bodies. I don't like seeing rankings where you have a guy ranked at the number one position, a guy ranked at number two, then nobody ranked, not rated for number 3 and 4, but yet you have 5, 6, 7, and 8 when you conceivably should move them up. So I'm a little hung up on that. And my final thoughts on the zone. Like I said, look, they sewed up the sport of boxing. Boxing has a tendency to follow the money and be lazy. And what I mean by that is, promoters will follow the money. That's why everybody ran over to Saudi Arabia, because Turkey Al-Rashid was shelling out some coin, right? And I've always said, you guys heard me say this on the show, if he decides to walk away, we're going to have a void, because all of a sudden these promoters are going to be like, oh, what do you mean? And some of these commissions make it very hard for club shows to take place. And the fighters make it hard for club shows to take place because of the demands and the fact that they don't want to fight anybody and nobody wants to take any risks and all these things. And the backbone of the sport of boxing is the club shows, because without the club shows, without these grassroots promoters, and, recently we've had Jimmy Birchfield on, who, in my opinion, is, the best definition of a grassroots promoter. We had Bobby Hitz on not too long ago. And also I got to reach out to Joe DeGuardi. I mean, those are the 3 grassroots promoters that pop right into my head. And they're all fairly close. I mean, well, Hitz is in Chicago, but, you need those fights. You need those club shows. Without them, I just don't see how boxing can survive. You just, that's why we're seeing this infusion of fighters from other countries that you've never heard of, that have all these records, and you realize that they weren't fighting very good opponents. So listen, we got so much good stuff planned moving forward. We got guests booked all the way through the year. We're already into 2026 with different guests that are coming on, different array of guests. I hope we keep your interest going. And remember, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, things you want to talk about, or things you want me to talk about, just drop me an email. Billy at Talkin Boxing, TalkinBoxing.com, or Bill at Billy C Boxing, or reach me on all the socials. We have a couple of different Facebook pages, an X account. If you go to Billy C Boxing, you can find all those links, follow us, subscribe to us, communicate. I'm finally up to speed on social media, so I look forward to that. But anyway, boys and girls, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, I'll leave you with this. Ciao, baby.